So, what's up, guys? Welcome everyone to the channel. I'm honored to be here with Colin from the ThePokeOffice. Hello, Colin.
Howdy, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks a lot for coming. This is such a pleasure to be here with you, enjoying this talk.
For sure. And we have to set the record straight. You're here late night. It's like early afternoon for me, and you're staying up way past your bedtime for this. So
when
nice
I
work.
am for me, but it's worth it. I'm sure it's worth it. I'm sure it is. So thank you so much for being here. We will discuss a bit of the Pokemon investing. I think Pokemon investing is what triggers both of us a bit. So that should be fine. So first of all, first things first. I got here my cases of surging sparks.
Nice.
The hot topic of the moment.
Very hot topic.
I've been a bit criticized for talking, let's say, too good about this set. I was super optimistic from the beginning when I saw this. All right, I saw Pikachu set with cool SIRs. I said, okay, this is it. We've been waiting too long for a super good set like this. This is it. This set will explode. I said, like, this is the next Evolving Skies, guys. Like, be prepared for this. Well, of course, inside the video, I say Evolving Skies is far better than this set. But I also said, well, gosh, we've been waiting so long for a really good set with these spectacular chase cards. Well,
I think there's been so many things that have led to this moment. Like, people were grasping, holding on to Sword and Shield era, when Scarlet and Violet era has actually been really solid so far. And then what you said, there's a Pikachu. No, like, don't forget about the Latios and the Latios. They're two really cool cards. The Milotic is doing really good in the market right now. I'm missing some, but there's some great cards in the set. And seems to me, I don't have like actual firm data, but it seems to me like there's been a little bit of a short print happening on Surging Sparks so far. Whatever you think about that. So all these things are compiling. Sword and Shield is getting older by the day, and now people are ready. And we have this thing called Prismatic Evolution that comes out in about a month, which is just this snowball effect of Pokemon hype. So whether you are spouting off that it's the next Evolving Skies, or whether people like, the truth of the matter is, in my opinion, is that Pokemon is just huge right now. Everyone is into Pokemon right now, and Surging Sparks is currently the next best thing, and it is a really good thing, which makes it, like, if it was a medium thing, maybe the hype wouldn't be that high, but the fact that Pokemon is so popular, plus Surging Sparks is actually a really good set, is creating a lot of
well, for sure. Yep. So the thing that got me in trouble, let's say it like this, is that I actually said, in my opinion, that Surging Sparks was better than the rest of the Sword and Shield era. And that got me into trouble because, I know it's a hot take. I understand that. But I heard a lot of people saying, okay, now Surging Sparks is 200, forget about it. Just buy Lost Origin and blah, blah. And I said, how can you forget about this set? It just came out. It doubled in price, like in what, 1-2 weeks? I've never seen this. Like, Evolving Skies didn't do this. I'm not saying this is a better set than Evolving Skies by any means, but as you said, I think the printage was actually short for sure. That's for sure. At least in Europe. I'm in Europe. I got 4 cases. I ordered like maybe 25 cases, and I got 4. And I didn't order it from one store. Like, I had multiple stores and some distributors. So that was actually insane. I have to tell you that in Europe, I know the market's different here, but I think the depth of the market, like, we've got like Card Market, that is like the official website here, like TCG Player in the US. Yeah. So I think I checked yesterday, there were like 40 Surging Sparks booster boxes. If you buy 40 boxes, the market's gone. Like, there are no boxes. And cases, it's like 15 cases. Man, I've never seen that. Like, just to have an idea, guys, because I know a lot of you are from the US, but if I talk like Twilight Masquerade, maybe we've got like 500 boxes. It's just insane. Like, people just bought it at 170, 180, 190. They just bought it. I don't know. that thing's crazy to me. And I have to say
I think
here,
that just proves the fact that it's a really good set because people can say all they want to. It's just scalpers wanting to buy and resell. No, it's not.
I
It's
mean,
people who really want to get their hands on the set and open more packs. And if it's set $170, they're gonna buy it. If it's at $200, they're gonna buy it. It doesn't matter.
yep,
It's a good
yep.
set. People want the newest set.
I also have the feeling that people don't really, sometimes they don't even really care about what's inside. It's like, no, a box should be like 120, 110. And I'm like, man, how is the box 110 if you have a $400 chase card and then 3 big chase cards for more than 100, $150? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, what, are you supposed to make profit by opening Pokemon packs now? Like, crazy? I don't know.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of stupid things, a lot of market manipulation. That's like, come on, man. Like, there's like 1,000 sales every day. When the set released, it got like 100, like 1,000. Sorry, 1,000 sales every day in the US, just between TCG Player and eBay, and people are like, oh well, market manipulation. Yeah, well, you gotta manipulate really well to do that.
Yeah, I'd say. I'm there's negative people all over the place,
Yep.
and I don't ignore it because I hear it all the time, but I just don't buy it one bit. Like me and you aren't big enough to manipulate the market. We could maybe manipulate a card if we felt like it, but to actually do a new set of Pokemon, heck, I I wish I could get more Surging Sparks right now because I can't.
Yep.
I have no contacts left to get Surging Sparks so that I can like make a profit on it. It's just, hey, if you guys want to open it up on my live stream, well, I'm gonna get it to you as cheap as I possibly can because I'm not making any money. It's just doing it because it's fun. Crazy,
Yep.
man. There's nothing out there. My distributors don't have any. The people that I've built relationships to like try and get good allocations from them, from their stores, they don't have any. And when they do have it, it's like, please give me one. Okay, we can, but it's going to be a really expensive. I still
Yeah.
want it.
Heard that too. Like, I think these boxes were really cheap because I pre-ordered them like so many months before. But
Yeah.
I think the average cost was like 95 per box. But the thing is that I have a friend that actually runs a store, and he just told me openly, like, look, I got you these boxes for 95 because you pre-ordered them when they were 95. If you want
Mhm.
more, they're like 165 now. Like,
Yeah.
it is what it is. Like, he's not trying to scam anyone. Like, he just got the first like allocation, and then he had to order another allocation. But he's a store, and he was paying like 145 or 150, and
Yeah.
it's like, well, they gotta make money too, man. Like, I don't know. Like, of course, I think negativity. Now that we're on YouTube, like, negativity gets more clicks.
100%.
It gets more views, right? And it's better to be negative. Um, I understand that we have different opinions. I understood the people saying, well, it's more worth to buy like Lost Origin at this price. Yeah, it will get out, like, it's out of rotation, and like the possibilities of that getting a reprint are like less than 1% right now. So I understand the point that, well, I buy Lost Origin because if money flows into Sword and Shield again, this box can double in price kind of easily. Like, not like Surging Sparks, because we are all expecting a reprint at some point.
Yeah.
But that's another topic that I wanted to discuss with you, because the last reprint we got was the Paldea Evolved, and that was nothing. Like,
No.
and the set is not like even 20% as popular as Surging Sparks. So I wanted to ask you, what do you expect to happen if we get, even if it's a medium or a large Surging Sparks reprint?
Well, I I don't know obviously, but my two kind of could go one of two ways. This is what I think. They either reprint it so much that it floods the market and the prices actually will come down. But if it's anything, you compared it to Evolving Skies, so let's go. Evolving Skies got reprint after reprint, and then it was at Costco, and then it was everywhere. People kept buying it. Like, yeah, you could get Evolving Skies really early on for a good price, but once it was out, what are you
Yeah.
trying to do? It's expensive. So if Surging Sparks remains this popular, then it's going to be really, really expensive. And sorry, someone just came in. I don't know what they can do about it unless they flood the market. Like, you think about a set like Shining Fates, and yeah, that was on the shelf at Walmart's and GameStops forever because they just printed so much. But we're also in a different time period right now where there's so many people in the Pokemon space. And I think people get stuck in this tunnel vision of the YouTube space. Everyone's investing in Pokemon cards, everyone's buying up, everyone's scalping. That's not even remotely true. There's millions of people around the world who just like Pokemon. They'll go grab a box or a collection box or an ETB from the store, rip it open, and have some fun with Pokemon. Like, I feel like we're the investors are very small town. I'm not saying that it doesn't affect things, it does. But there's tons and tons of people across the world that just want to have fun opening Pokemon cards too.
And I think we have like a biased view because we are inside this world, but it is true that of course I don't know the percentage of us who actually invest in sealed product in the long term. Like, I'm not talking scalping, but just buying sealed something and keeping it for 5 years, whatever. But the percentage gotta be super low compared in. I see. Of course, I'm talking about Europe, but I'm guessing it's kind of the same. Here we got a lot of kids who just love Pokemon. They will not keep the booster pack or box sealed. They just open packs. They trade them at school, like whatever. And that's a large portion of the like average consumer, at least here in Europe. And
I
I
don't know if
think
you watched I can't remember who made the video. I would give them a shout out if I remembered. It might be Nostalgianomics, it might be OKJ Love. I watch a lot of YouTube myself. The amount of streamers in the space right now opening packs 24/7, like there's literally hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of Pokemon cards being opened every day, probably millions of dollars worth of Pokemon cards being opened every day.
Yeah.
So it's not just all sitting in my back closet and your closet investing over the next 5 years. No, there's tons of it being opened every single day. So
I remember I bought, here in Europe, I think they are from UK. We've got these half booster boxes.
yeah,
These 18-pack booster boxes. I think they're exclusive from Europe, right?
I have never seen them here in Canada.
Yeah.
No.
So I saw a bunch of these of Fusion Strike for like $72, $70 to $72, something like that. And the big booster box was already like $240 here in Europe. And I said, okay, this is a great opportunity. I just jump in. And I was not as experienced as I am now, and I bought a bunch of booster boxes. Then I went to Card Market and I said, I looked at the quantity and I said, okay, I went too greedy. Like, I was greedy. I saw that there were like 200 boxes sitting at $70 to $75, and I said, okay, like there's no way here in Europe, because I know that the demand is so much lower in Europe than in the US. And I said, there's no way this gets eaten. And it really did. But it did that like in 3 months or something like that. And it was like
Crazy.
hundreds and hundreds of booster boxes. And honestly, like Fusion Strike was kind of a random set at that moment because it was not even the hot thing. It was like an old Sword and Shield set, kind of forgotten after Evolving Skies and stuff. And like, I don't know, that really impressed me. Like, if a set gets hot, like, or maybe the Gengar price just increases, people will just go for the chase card. Like, I really underestimated the market, and that just showed me that even the quantity is super high. If the demand is there and the set is a good set, like it just goes off. Like most of people just will open the sealed product. That's something I learned from that. But moving a bit on, because Searching Sparks, I think it's too much. Like we've talked too much about this topic, and I think YouTube is full of this. But we have to stop for a second and talk about Prismatic Evolutions, because
The next Evolving Skies.
yeah, like now for real, right? Like now it's the next Evolving Skies. I don't know I will say the information I've gathered with the distributors I can talk with and buy from and stuff. It's absolutely insane. Like the demand is absolutely insane. Is even worse than evolving than surging sparks, but
Yeah.
so much worse. It's so much worse. I've seen a lot of ETBs in the US selling for more than $100,
Yep.
which I don't know, like distribution price is 37 or something like that in Europe. And I see a lot of boxes here selling for 75, 65 to 75. So it would be like 2 times the,
75 euros. Is that what it is?
yeah.
Yeah.
But euros and dollars right now are basically the same. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a wild, wild market. And
Yeah.
yet, here's the thing. I actually argued with a friend about this today. So if they put pre-orders up for less than market price, they've been proven to sell out instantly, like within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Safari Zone did it. I'm from Canada, so I don't know all the big hubs of online stores in the United States. But the big ones, they put up a pre-order, they sell out. PokeNE, Brian, put up pre-orders, boom, they were out. So what do you expect the stores to do? Like, I mean, do you want them to be less than market price? The argument from their side is that then scalpers will just buy it up and resell it at the higher price anyways. So you tell me if that's true or not. That's for everyone watching to decide whether that's true or not. But or you hold it and see how the market does then, and then like we're still a month, 5 weeks out from Prismatic Evolution. The Japanese set comes out this Friday, I think, as we're recording this.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a little bit of a scary market because things go so fast. But my main argument, if Pokemon didn't want this to happen, then print it. Keep printing it. Like me and Rob do a live stream every Friday night. We've been talking about it. I think the more I think about it, the more we talk about it, I'm convinced that Pokemon Center actually knows exactly what they're doing. They're playing the long game. And time to get some hype going before the 30th anniversary. So let's short print this a little bit. That's my hot take of the evening. I don't know if it's actually true. I have no sources. I have no actual data on it. Just my opinion. And if they don't want these crazy prices, they could print more. They could flood the market with Prismatic Evolution, and it could be a $50 Elite Trainer box.
Yep.
But it's not.
You know, I've heard you and Rob talk about this actually. I saw the live stream. I don't know if it was the last with the Poke Plumber. I don't
Yeah,
know if it was the last. I think it
was.
was the last. So I was hearing you guys talk about that, and that's something I wanted to mention. And the thing is, you know, I've learned almost everything I know from Rudy from Alpha Investments, and you know, he's always joking about like emailing himself and that and this and that, but he always says that they know exactly what's going on in the secondary market. And let's be honest, like we all know they are. Like there's no real way they wouldn't know this. But there's something here too, because for the first Scarlet and Violet sets, I felt like they printed too much. That's just how I felt. In Europe, especially, Obsidian Flames and Paradox Rift were absolutely like over printed. Like you couldn't, like you talk with distributors, they were selling for 95 and the market was like 80. Like that's no healthy. Like you can work with that. No store can work with that. I understand like some people are happy because, well, I buy boxes and they are so cheap. Yeah, they are so cheap, but the store you're buying from, if everything keeps going like this in 2 years, he will not be here, and
Yeah.
you will not be able
to
to.
buy from that store anymore.
Exactly. And that's kind of sad. And I have multiple friends that run stores, and I'm with you that they shouldn't sell like Prismatic Evolutions at $45 the ETV, because it makes no sense to me. And I say that knowing that I will pay extra for every product I buy, but I understand the situation. And I understand that maybe they lost money with multiple sets, and now that Surging Sparks is here and Prismatic Evolution is here, and they can make a bunch of money, I think they deserve it, honestly. Because I know a lot of stores that have to start selling like, okay, I sell Lorcana and One Piece and this and that and Magic because, well, Pokemon, my margin is $1 per booster box, and I have to ship like 3 cases, and I have to do free shipping because this guy is paying me like $1,500. There's no money in that. And
No, it's been a losing money cause for over a year.
yeah.
They've barely been able to keep the lights on, other than selling toys and other than selling other card games. Like straight up Pokemon shops have had to be really creative to be successful over the last year and a half.
Yes. And doing bundles with, cracking all these collection boxes, man, that's a hustle. Like that's a hustle. And to make pennies, honestly, because they don't make like they selling, well, Fusion Strike boosters for $4, 450 euros. Wow. Insane profits. Like he's making like $1 per pack.
And think about that. They're putting out, what is it, euros? $90, $85, or 85 euros per booster box at wholesale?
It would be more like 90 to 95, but 90
call
to
it
95,
90.
something like that.
They're putting out $90 worth of risk to make $4.
Yep.
That's disgusting.
It's just
no
insane.
business can survive off of that.
It's just insane. I mean, here is just a different world because we pay a lot of taxes here, so you don't see like stores selling at 105 or 110 because they actually, in Spain, for example, it's 21% tax. So when the store sells for 121, they're earning 100 euros.
Okay, good to know.
There's no way a store will sell you a box for 99. Because if they are doing this, I can guarantee you, even if they get the boxes from Pokemon itself, they are losing money or breaking even. There are some super large stores that buy directly from Pokemon, but let's face it, they have Pokemon, so you can go to their store and maybe you will grab a collector booster box of Magic and they will do some money there because there's no money in selling boxes that price.
Yep.
And
here's the spicy take. I don't even think it's that spicy, but some people think it is. Pokemon, like you said, knows what's happening in the secondary market. Hey, it's time for this to end. We don't want people selling boxes for $100 anymore. They're going to sell for MSRP. We want control of our market, not other people. We want control as the Pokemon company. So what do you see now? Well, distributors maybe sell the first wave at wholesale and then they up the prices. And then the game stores up their prices because they need to make a profit. And now people are buying from Pokemon Center rather than from game stores.
Yep. First time in a lot of years this is happening, man.
Yeah.
160. Also, MSRP is 160 for Scarlet and Violet. We used to say, well, when a Sword and Shield era booster box sells out in Pokemon Center, like, run. But
didn't Fusion Strike just sell out this week?
I'm not sure.
In the UK Pokemon Center, maybe not the Europe one, the UK one it did.
Yeah, we don't have Pokemon Center in Europe, by the way.
Okay. The UK.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah. That's insane. To me, that's insane that in UK they have a Pokemon Center, but UK is not part of the Europe Union now, and we don't have a Pokemon Center for the whole Europe, which is absolutely disgusting. But that's a whole different talk. But yeah, it's crazy that people actually paying MSRP. When I saw that Surging Spark booster boxes just sold out, I was shocked. And I remember a friend of mine. I was with a friend of mine who had nothing to do with Pokemon, and then the Pokemon Center Prismatic Evolutions ETB were announced, and it was like max 2 per person and blah blah blah. And I said, look, I'm showing you this now because we're having dinner, and after dinner this will be sold out. And he was laughing like, come on, man, like it was exactly what happened. Like it sold out in 8 hours, something like that. It's just insane. But for me, I have to say that I think some Pokemon products should be exclusive. Now, I understand that Magic, for example, they have these different booster boxes. They have these play boxes and these collector booster boxes. They don't touch the collector. Like we don't reprint, maybe serial number cards, like that are exclusive. And what I think Pokemon is trying to do now is that they're making the booster box kind of exclusive. Because I have this feeling that, random collector boxes, ETBs had a really, really long print run. I've seen Lost Origin ETBs, they're going for like $35 to $40 still in Europe, and they have been this price for 2.5 years. Yeah, that's insane. But I think what they are trying to do now is just like making the booster box like the exclusive product. I don't know if that makes sense, but I have this feeling like I wouldn't expect a new Scarlet and Violet era set to have this low supply in booster boxes. And I don't know if they are doing this just to do a reprint later and, get this, well, okay, let's do 3 reprints, large reprints, and just sell everything and stuff. I don't know what's the plan there, but I remember that's kind of what happened with Evolving Skies, that it got reprint like 3 times, but as you said before, like, didn't really matter. Like, people just kept buying. I think if they manage the print runs correctly and they do like, I don't know, 50% print run after like 25%, I don't know, but the print runs for me have to make sense too. Like, I would I wouldn't be mad, but I wouldn't really like if they just reprint the set and just sell the same amount of boxes they just printed on the first print. For me, that doesn't make sense at all for them.
So you're saying they shouldn't print as much the second round? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I think you can keep the product exclusive if you just print like, I'm just making numbers up, but 1 million boxes, and then you print like 500,000, and then you print like 200,000. That for me makes sense, because you're just saying, look, there's a reprint here, don't be mad, like you can still get the product for relatively cheap, but this is not like, we're not printing this product like 5 times, 1 million boxes every time. Because that, for me, that would kind of lose the exclusivity and the price the boxes hand right now. And maybe we need like a middle point, because what we've seen is that we've jumped from booster boxes that no one wanted, because from base to Paradox Rift, no one wanted the booster boxes. Like Paldea just have grown like slowly afterwards, but at least
they
in
were
Europe,
all at $90 US a box.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Yeah. The market was floated. And it looks like now also the fact that the new boxes are just so expensive, it seems like it's kind of helping the other sets too. I don't know if it makes sense.
The charts lately?
Yeah.
Scarlet and Violet base set is like up to 110.
Everything's going up.
Evolved is up to 140. Obsidian Flames up to 120. Paradox Rift up to 105 or something like that.
Yeah.
Temporal Forces is cruising.
Yep.
Twilight Masquerade is actually the one that's a little bit stagnant at 150. Stellar Crown is on the rise. Everything's on the rise. Fusion Strike selling out in the UK. Sword and Shield stuff is on the rise. Evolving Skies is doing Evolving Skies type thing. This affects everything, not just Surging Sparks, not just Prismatic Evolution. It affects the whole thing. Single cards as well. The single cards are all rising again.
I mean, I'm guessing too, like new people into the hobby, right? I've seen big Spanish YouTubers, for example, that have nothing to do with Pokemon TCG, saying, "Oh, chasing the $3,000 Pikachu card," and opening like an insane amount of packs. So that, of course, will just, get people that don't really care about Pokemon, but they'll probably just come out and, okay, I'm just gonna open a box, like, let's try my luck and stuff. So that really affects the market for sure.
I think that's where, if someone was putting their brain power to use, like that's where I could see a good argument for market manipulation. Some YouTuber who has nothing to do with Pokemon is like, hey, there's this really cool new Pokemon set and we're going to chase the Pikachu, and he opens up a box or 2 of it. Well, if that video gets a couple thousand views or a couple tens of thousands of views, well, now there's like this whole new market that wasn't ever thinking about Pokemon watching that video. They might want to go buy a box to open it up too. That looks like a lot of fun. I'm going to go get a box. That's how the wave starts. It's not me and you. And your audience is just people who watch Pokemon content anyways.
And by the way, I'm talking about millions of people. I'm
Yeah.
talking about like big content creators. Yeah, not like, because
So there you
I'm
go.
gonna be completely honest. If someone with like 5,000 views that has nothing to do with Pokemon started like doing these videos, I wouldn't even notice. But I'm talking about like one of the biggest content creators here. I think that the Pokemon TCG app, like the new mobile game and stuff, that brings a lot of people in too. And for me,
Just think about this.
I'm going to be
If
honest. Like,
Yeah, go
it's
ahead. Go
good.
ahead.
It's good that people join the hobby. Like, I have nothing against that.
Yeah.
They be clueless at the beginning, and I've seen people overpaying for stuff, which I kind of feel a bit bad, because I've seen like friends of mine paying like 70 euros for a Surging Spark GTV, and I said, well,
Yeah, it's
man,
a lot.
I can get you one of that for 35. So next time, just tell me before, please. But and it feels really bad, but at the same time, like, I think they don't really care. Like, they are not even checking the market price for the cards afterwards. Like, you and me, if we open like $500 in Pokemon packs and we get like 30 back, we're going to be mad because we know the value of the cards we pull. But
Exactly.
someone random or someone like super big making a stream, like, that guy's a millionaire. Like, they don't really care, like, if they pull the Pikachu or not. Like,
And if you don't follow Pokemon, you just go to like in the States and Canada, you go to Walmart or you go to Costco or you go to any of the Target big box stores and you just buy something. Like their prices are always way higher typically than the market price. But who cares? Like that's what I did when I first got back into the hobby because I didn't know any better either. That's just like seems like part of the learning curve. Hey, I'm getting back into the hobby. Where do I buy Pokemon cards from? Well, my first choice is Walmart, so I'm going to go there. Ooh, this is fun. How do I get this for cheaper? And then you start doing your research and
yeah,
oh, there's actual online stores that sell this for way cheaper. Oh, how do you figure out market price? Oh, well, we go to Card Market or we go to TCG Player. Oh, that's a pretty easy solution to figure this out. Like it's just all a learning process that people go down. I was going to say earlier, if this YouTuber has a million people, let's pretend that there's a million people that watch him open or her open a booster box. 1% of a million decides to, hey, I think that would be really fun to do that. 1%. That's 10,000 people, new people from one YouTube video that would go buy some Pokemon cards.
yep.
That's the
And
power of big content creation. It's absolutely crazy.
now think about the situation we've discussed before, that I told you, like, uh, with like 60 or 70 booster boxes of Surging Sparks, you end the market in Europe. And you just said like 10,000. Like, there's no booster boxes. It is
No.
insane. I've never seen that in my whole life. Like, I haven't been investing for years. Like, uh, I have been collecting since I was a kid. I've been just going in and out of the hobby, but even I was not investing. I was in the hobby and I was aware of some prices going like crazy, like Evolving Skies and stuff. And I've never seen this, like, never in my life. I've seen boxes come up in price, but there was volume in the market. But now we're talking about, like, we don't have a market. That's insane. Like, someone in Europe with, I don't know, that has actually like a lot of capital could just come and say, okay, I'll buy like the 60 Surging Sparks booster boxes, and then like maybe the Prismatic Evolutions GTVs are like 400, but that's like 36K. Like, that, it's not even that much. Like, someone with a lot of money could just come and say, okay, I'll get it. I'll get them all. And now they are not like 75, they are 150.
Yeah,
You want it? Yeah, pay 150. That would be market manipulation for me. That would be bad for the
100%.
hobby. That would be really bad. But surprisingly, it's not happening, which honestly for me is great. But yeah, let's just move on a bit, because I think we could discuss this for hours.
Yeah,
So
for
let's
sure,
just
for sure.
let's just move on a bit. And I wanted to ask you, and this might be the title of the video because I'm really interested in this. And it's, what's your plan for 2025? Because we
Oh,
have great sets ahead. I think we've got probably one. I mean, we cannot tell yet, of course, but if I have to kind of predict, we probably will have like one of the best years of Pokemon TCG we've seen. So
yeah.
I'm really hyped for that. And I want to know, what are your plans?
I mean, I recently got in with two distributors. in Canada. So
Okay.
I'm currently trying to like spend as much as I possibly can by just churning and burning as much as I can so that I can get some allocation of Prismatic, so that I can get some allocation of the upcoming sets. So that's the I made a video last week about like I am legitimately going hard. I have a full-time job and I come home, get home around 3:30 and then I go work on Pokemon for like 4 or 5 hours a night usually. That includes doing my videos a week and these type of things and then shipping and ordering stuff and trying to buy and sell stuff. Like I'm grinding hard, which is a lot of work, but that's like I'm trying to grow a business as well, trying to make this happen. So I feel like if I can continue making that happen, I got in at the right time because 2025 has got to be the best year of Pokemon yet. I really think that. I really do. So the
Yep.
problem is that if I just wanted the easy route, I would just like buy up every set, spend $1,000 or $2,000 every month on it if I could, put it in the closet and forget about it for 5 years. I think you could do really, really well going that route right now. And don't even look at the charts. Just literally buy a booster box case each month, put it in the back closet. Don't ever
Yep.
look at the charts. Buy it again the next month when you get paid, put it in the closet. Don't ever look at the charts. And 5 years from now, you're going to be pleasantly surprised. But I think there's opportunities to do the work and do really well as well. So I don't really know. It's a really good question from you. I feel like I need to actually come up with a plan, but I don't know how I'm going to come out of 2025. Like if you were to ask me next year at this time what my inventory would be like, I hope to have a lot of Scarlet and Violet everything. But I might still be churning and burning and just continuing the grind too. I don't
The
know. I
grind.
don't know.
Okay.
What about you? That's a really interesting question, and I need a better answer than that. But
No, but it's good. It's good. I hear you. And just before answering, uh, so if I understand correctly, like, would your like, let's say, midterm goal be to have like a big store, like the Pokein thing, or would you be more
I
focused on like ships and more of community building and stuff?
I think if I think the end goal for me would be the trending thing that's happening is to continue growing the online store. And if that gets big enough, then like that could overtake my full-time job right now. I would love to do that. Because as much as it's a grind, I really, really like being in the Pokemon space. I like having these conversations. I like making videos. I actually don't mind packing up orders either. Like it gets monotonous at times, but I kind of like it. So I could see that. I could see that.
I see. I see. I I completely feel you. Same about the full time job, honestly. Uh, for me, I have to say right now it's not even close. Like I'm not even close to be able to sustain myself just by YouTube. Um, been running some other projects too, so it's kind of hard time wise.
Yeah.
And of course, if I look for editors, which I have, and I'm doing it now, and I'm working with editors too, with good editors, because I don't want my videos to be like bad. I actually, my first intention was to be like really like high quality Pokemon TCG content.
Hmm.
Well, editors, like good editors, of course, earn a lot of money. And I mean, I'm telling like, uh, and like it makes me laugh because you see, I read a lot of comments and it's like, okay, these guys in YouTube, you know, like, of course, you've got 4 cases of Surging Sparks, and like I'm making, you know, like thousands of dollars every month from YouTube, and I'm like, man, if you just know, like I've been 5 months here, I don't know if I've been positive like one single month, because I do giveaways for my subs. I enjoy doing that also. I I I also understand it's positive for me too because it gets a lot more engagement and you
Yeah.
get like people triggered to comment something, and actually like most of people just don't comment like, oh, give me the box. Like of course there's some people like that, but you actually hear people saying, oh, that's a cool idea and maybe you could do this, maybe you could do that, or you said this and I really disagree with you, which I also enjoy like doing that. And I really enjoy when a video is finished and I see the end product and it's really good, and that really feels good to me.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would be going for a business model like focused on a store. um, I love making this type of videos, like talking for hours. I could talk for hours about Pokemon. I do with my friends, and they don't. They are not even into Pokemon, so I'm guessing they're tired AF of me. but but um, but yeah, I really enjoy this, and I think if I had to focus this more into like a business perspective, and with the situation in Europe, that it's kind of tight, honestly. So I'm gonna explain like really quick how things in Europe work in terms of distribution, because you say you have to order a lot of products that you probably don't want, just for then to have like a lot of allocations and stuff. Here, the good part is I don't have to do that. Like I talk with my distributors and I say, look, uh, maybe 5 sets come out, and I'll just ask for one of the sets, but I'll buy a lot of product just from one. That's it, and they completely understand. They are okay with it, but the margins are super low here. Like with the thing I told you about the taxes, like the thing is maybe I can get boxes for 90 or 95 euros, but that's without taxes.
Right.
So actually, if I'm just buying the box for myself and just keeping it, well, like that's not 90, that's like 110, so the margins are really tight in Europe. And I think if I had to focus on a business like that, I should go down the way of like Rudy style, this Patreon subscription accounts, like not making money at all of the boxes, selling them at, or maybe at a small loss, and just get money from a monthly subscription or something. But that's something I see like really far down the road. I don't think 2025 is the year for that yet. But yep, we're here.
Yeah. That's you just keep going.
Yeah,
That's what it's all about.
yeah. I really enjoy the space too. So it's, even if it's a grind, like, I love doing thumbnails. I really don't like editing. I've done a lot of editing on my videos, but I really don't like it. But I still do it. It's like the shipping thing. You say like, you keep going. Like you say, okay, I don't really enjoy this, but it's been like I've edited 3 minutes, and the video is 12 minutes. So come on, man. Like if I do this 3 times more, like video is done. I just keep going. You just keep pushing, because I think we actually love the hobby itself, and it pays off by itself. Like when I get these booster boxes, I see my collection of a lot of sealed product, and I'm not even thinking about the growth and the making money of the situation. I just like seeing it. I
Yeah.
have a bunch of these 3-pack blisters of Fusion Strike with the Espion promo. And the Umbreon one just exploded in price. And I said, well, that makes sense. The other one will explode too. Like it will not go that high, but it will explode too. And I bought a lot of that. And I always see that because they are like on top of my sealed box collection. And just looking at that makes me happy. So it actually pays for the grind, for sure.
Yeah. No question about it. I think in order to continue in the hobby, making content or whatever you're doing, like sure there's time for scalpers to be in the hobby, but if you stay in the hobby long enough, like only people who love the hobby stay in the hobby long enough.
Yep. I've heard a lot. I don't know if it's true, honestly, but I've heard a lot that the average like human being stays for in the hobby for like 6 to 12 months.
Yeah.
Like comes into a hype set, like searching. Maybe Vivid Voltage is like the most similar situation I remember. Like Surging Sparks, like a lot of people in the hobby. The Logan Polar was really bad for me, honestly. In Europe, it was just not sustainable. ETBs were scalp. I remember Champions Path. I don't know what happened in Canada and Europe, but I remember the booster box just came out. It was like 160 in Europe. It was,
Wow.
man, I was really disgusted. I was really disgusted. I was really angry, and I actually like not dropped entirely, but I stopped collecting for a period of time because I was really angry at the situation. It was really not well managed in Europe. I don't know what happened in the US, but people were just like it was not scalpers in the market, like not an external person coming and said, okay, I'm buying this for 50 and selling to you for 100. It was not even that. It was just maybe distributors or stores were like, okay, there's no product, so I'll just sell it for 3 times the retail. Why not? There's no product. Someone will buy it for sure. The sad thing is actually it got sold, but you know, that's really more extreme than even the situation now. And and I have to say something too, that sometimes if the set is really good, I feel like it's a bit justified, like I don't know what the prices inside Prismatic Evolutions, like the single card prices will be, but I think that if the ETB is $70 or $80, but the cards inside are really expensive, well, maybe at some point it can make sense. What I was really angry about is that, for example, Champion's Path had absolutely no reason to be 150 an ETB. Had no reason. Like, it made absolutely no sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a really different time of the market. The Logan Paul thing was, I mean, positive because it brought a lot of people in, but it happened, like, some really bad things happened too. So that's for sure.
Yeah, I wasn't around for Champions Path, so I don't know much about it, to be honest with you.
I was not investing, but I was collecting and I was really angry.
Yeah.
Maybe if I had the knowledge now and the distributor access, I would have made a lot of money. Who knows? But yeah, it was angry times for me.
Huh.
Okay.
I didn't know that actually, so that's really interesting.
Yeah, Europe, whole different market.
But,
for example,
I mean,
yep.
Champions Path is still expensive, but it's kind of just like it hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
Still like whatever it is, $100 a ETB or something like that.
Because I think the pull rates of the charts are just abysmal, right?
Yeah.
And you have like what, 2 cards? Because that's it. And the next
That's
card
it.
will be like what, less than $10.
Charizard or bust.
Yeah. At least there's 2. Like,
yeah,
you gotta take that, but it's still really bad. Not Burning Shadows, but still really bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, so there's another topic I want to talk about today. We like I don't want you to get in any trouble by any means, but I actually heard and watched some videos. I won't name anyone, like no worries at all. But making this Pokemon drama content, and I heard a lot of people actually bashing you. Like,
did you?
Yeah, like something like FOMOing in the thumbnails and stuff. Like, I don't know, like buy this now, and like sets or cards or whatever. I've done that too, but I think I don't really understand this part of the community that it's actually just talking Pokemon drama. I'm kind of impressed that that's a niche itself and that so many people are interested in that for a video to get like I'm not talking about crazy amounts of views, but maybe like 5,000 views. And I said, there's actually 5,000 people that care about this for real. It really impressed me, and I wanted to ask you, like, what's your opinion, or if you have any takes on this, because I'm really interested on knowing it.
I mean, at some level, it kind of hurts the ego. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it does affect me. I don't like being bashed, but at the same time, that's like if you put yourself out on YouTube long enough, someone's gonna say something or not like something that I've said or whatever. So, I've made a few videos about the drama as well. I really try not to because I just personally want to be like a little bit of a shining light in the Pokemon space. Because I don't have time for negativity. Just like I get it. It's really easy to go watch a video that's all negative and fearful and fear mongering and all that stuff because it's clickbaity. Like I'm drawn to that as well. I think everyone has a little bit of like the gravity towards that. At the same time, I love the Pokemon space, so I've actually made a really like cognizant decision lately that I've decided like I don't really want to do the drama stuff on YouTube. I want to stay really positive. Even if I could do a thumbnail or or a title that is like a negative concept, I really try not to because I want to be a positive example. And to be honest with you, it's actually hurt my views quite a bit. Um, but ultimately, I work on my YouTube channel and on the Pokemon business for way less than minimum wage right now. I put so much effort into it. So if I'm going to continue doing that, I want to be able to love it. I
I
don't
see.
want to just do it just to work at it, just to get more views. Like I want to talk about things that I care about and things that I love. So some people will probably like watching this say like, "Oh, you still do clickbaity titles." Well, yeah, that's the YouTube game. Like you have to do clickbaity titles and thumbnails, otherwise you don't get any clicks. That's
I
the
think we
whole
all do.
point, and everyone does it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think we all do.
But I really try hard to keep it positive, and I try and ignore those comments, even though they do get to me sometimes. Like, how does it not? People like I'm a normal human being just like everyone else. So when people talk crap about me, I don't particularly like that. I want to be liked by everyone. So
I understand. Because um, uh, it's actually something I ask you because um, I've never been in this situation. Maybe I have been and I didn't even notice. That's
yeah,
a possibility for sure. But it happened to me that I saw like your thumbnails in other people's video, like Pokemon drama videos. And then I said, well, that's actually like quite impossible not to click also, right? Because if I see my thumbnails in a video of another person that probably I don't even know, but if it has 6,000 views, I'm like, well, what are these 6,000 people thinking about me, or what are they being told about me? And it's kind
right.
of impossible not to click, even if you have like peace of mind, which I actually have. Um, and I'm really open about like this clickbaity stuff that you said. I'm really open about it. Like when I said like Surging Sparks is the next Evolving Skies, that's like saying Surging Sparks is the next big thing or a great set, but it will get 3 times as many views. And like, I'm not ashamed of doing that, honestly, because
Why would you be?
yeah, like
You're
it's
doing
my
YouTube to
job.
get views.
Yeah, it's my job to get views, and I said this like 5 times in different videos. Like it's my job. I would not lie on the title, like straight up, like say a lie, like, oh, this, like something that didn't happen at all. But if I'm talking about something positive, I will really like compare to the greatest set, so it gets more views. And
Hmm.
about the negativity thing, I wanted to tell you that I was, when Stellar Crown came out, there were a lot of people saying, well, this is the next big thing. Rainbow Borders, which by the way I really love, but I heard a lot like the next investing movement and that and this and that. I was really triggered because I thought the opposite. I thought the set was really bad in comparison of Surging Sparks, and I was really angry at that people. Actually, I
Yeah.
was angry because I was thinking maybe I do clickbaity stuff, but I'm telling information that if actually some of my viewers bought Surging Sparks when I did the first video, that the box were actually 95 to 100 euros or dollars, they would made a lot of money. And
Hmm.
I'm happy for them, and I'm proud of that. And when I heard like, Prismatic Evolutions, the next big thing, blah blah blah, just to get views, that triggered me because I was about to make a video saying like, well, Prismatic, not sorry, Stellar Crown. Stellar Crown is really bad. I was about to make a video like that. The reason I didn't is the same you said. Like, I don't know if I want to get into that level of negativity. I really don't want to ruin someone's day just by uploading that video, and maybe he watched another video of another content creator that said, "Oh, the set is actually great," and he bought 3 cases, and I said, "Well, this set is garbage." Um,
Hmm.
I thought like, well, I think it's a gray area for me. I don't know if I want to go in there, but at the same time, I think maybe it's useful for someone. Like maybe someone bought Stellar Crown, like a lot of Stellar Crown, because Stellar Crown, let's be honest, like you can grab any quantity you want. At least in Europe, you can grab any quantity you want and pretty cheap.
Yeah.
But you know, I was telling people to save money for Surging Sparks, and maybe they spent like, I don't know, 1,000 euros or dollars in Stellar Crown, and they didn't have money available or as much money available for searching sparks. So, there's like this balance thing that I think, well, a part of me wants to just do the video and say, well, guys, I really think you should skip this set because the next set is really big. Or maybe I should just stay calm and don't get into this like negativity hole. Because same as you, I love the hobby, and I don't think it's quite about that. I don't think the hobby is quite about bashing sets.
I think it comes down to this for me. Is that if you were to say that, you're doing so because you actually care.
Yeah.
I don't like. I got to be careful because I don't want to throw anyone under the bus because that's not my intent at all. I don't like when people make content strictly to get views. I want people to make content that they believe in. So, have I had wrong takes in my videos? Absolutely, I have. I have said things that I would take back 100% now. But that's what I was thinking the day I recorded the video. So I'm not going to like regret saying that. But I'm pretty sure I've never come out with a video just being like, I think Shrouded Fable is a crappy set, but just to hype it up, I'm going to say that Shrouded Fable is awesome. Like, I don't lie on my videos. I'm telling you how I'm feeling that current day. I don't lie just to get views. That's where I think the
I
people that
understand.
I watch on YouTube the most are being upfront. I don't care if they say something that turns out to be wrong. That's fine. I want to hear their genuine opinions, their genuine thoughts on the matter. And if that includes some hype and that includes some clickbait, I'm totally fine with it because that is the YouTube game. That how does Mr. Beast get the most views on YouTube?
Yeah.
Well, he's mastered titles and thumbnails and making quality content that people want to watch. That's like there's three things: title, thumbnail, quality content.
Yeah. And
So
that's it.
if you don't
That's
like
it.
my
Click
quality
through rate and
content,
watch time. That's it.
yeah,
It's two things only, honestly. I mean, it sounds simple. Of course, it's far more uh, hard to do it right. But,
yeah,
you know, I think I did like 2 or 3 videos that are actually just deleted from my channel because it was me like talking with this mic here, just looking at a chart in a TCG player and talking about like a random set. What were my thoughts? But then when I started taking things seriously on YouTube, I did what I say it's my first video, and it got 10,000 views. Like the first video, I had like 2 subs, like my friend and my girlfriend. I don't even know. And the thing I tell you this because the title of that video is "This set is the next evolving skies," and my intention there was to look at all the sets that were available on the market and really get depth, like what will be the next set that can perform these insane numbers. And I really went depth to it, and I analyzed them. I even used, I remember, a Pokeos formula to calculate like cards inside the set and what can you predict the box will be and stuff. And I really put a lot of effort into that video. Like I'm talking about maybe 100 hours in that video, editing and stuff. I was learning to edit because I had no idea, like zero idea how
yeah,
to edit. And you know, the title is of course clickbaity, but I do not regret doing that because
you
if I
shouldn't.
said, yeah, if I said this is the next big set, and I had 3 subs, I would literally had gotten like 50 views, you know, and yeah, I think it's just a game. I think it's just a game. I completely understand that you say that you don't want people to lie. I completely understand, and that's why I got mad when people talk about what I think are not that great of sets,
Yeah.
talking really good about them, which, I mean, of course, it's happy positivity, but same as you said, if you come and say, well, Shrouded Fable is the best set in the last 4 years, um, uh,
Well,
yeah,
now I don't believe anything else that you say,
yeah, exactly,
right? You lose credibility.
exactly, exactly.
And here's the other thing that I don't know if we've talked about enough yet on the YouTube front. Even if I do the most clickbaity title and thumbnail I can possibly conjure up. If I don't create quality content, people might click, but then they're not going to watch the video.
Yep.
So the video's not going to perform good anyways. Like,
Yep.
you still have to make good content. And some people might think that my content sucks, and that's okay. Well, don't watch. That's fine. There's people I like watching and people I don't love watching on YouTube as well. That's totally fine. But
I actually won't say names, but I enjoy the content of people who get like far less views, much more than the biggest people on the hobby. And that's just how it is.
yeah,
I can say it openly because I've discussed with him 20,000 times with PokeOffice. Like Michael, like he was one of my inspirations. And when I started watching him, he wasn't getting like much views. He had like
and look at him now because
six,
he persevered.
yeah. But he was like 6,000 subs, something like that. He wasn't getting a lot of views, like 1,000 views, 500 views. But and he was just sitting on the camera with bad quality audio. But man, this guy knew what he was talking about, and he was talking to a camera like 15 minutes. I even if I was not watching, I would go for a walk, and I said, well, it's Pokio's time for a walk or just doing something at home, and.
Yeah.
I will have a discussion with him like pretty soon. I'm really happy that he will come to the channel. But I'm
Nice.
just mentioning this because I think the knowledge is not behind all the flashy things. And I say this myself, even doing like edited videos and stuff. I have this series that got kind of popular in YouTube of 10 cheap cards, like 10 cards under $5 that I think will perform well or that I think are underpriced just because they are beautiful or the pull rates or whatever. And honestly, like if you're looking for knowledge, these are not the videos. Like I think my greatest videos for knowledge have like 2,000 views.
Yeah.
And maybe these videos have like 40,000 because they are flashy, they have effects, and it's 10 cheap cards, and wow, these cards are so cheap, I can buy them. And I understand people who just click to these videos because they are fun to watch, but the real knowledge is not there. The real knowledge is Rudy rambling for 45 minutes about the market, and you can learn there what maybe takes me 2 months of investing. And you can learn in 15 minutes just hearing this guy that has done it for, 10 years? Like, I mean, you gotta have respect and listen to this guy. And even me, I've heard things coming from him that I said, oh, really? I I was hearing like, no, smart money is moving to Scarlet and Violet Vase, Obsidian Flames, Paradox Rift, and at the beginning I was skeptical, like, wow, like would I really park money on Scarlet and Violet Vase? But at the same time, I think I have to be humble and understand that if this guy has done this for a decade in a really successful way, we just have to respect him and listen to him.
Hey man, one of the most wise things I've ever heard is that success leaves clues.
Okay, that's deep.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, yeah,
You got to pay attention. You need to take advantage of opportunities and pay attention to opportunities. But successful people leave clues as what they're doing. And
yeah.
Rudy is not flashy. He
That's
just
for sure.
rambles. But
That's for sure.
sometimes in the midst of one of the rabbit trails that he goes down for 5 minutes is some of the best stuff you can ever hear from him. And it's not flashy at all. He's not even talking about anything specific. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I got to re-listen to that part because that might actually change my life.
Yeah.
You know?
These whiteboard videos. 2 hour, like 1.5 hour whiteboard video. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where the knowledge is, honestly, man.
100%.
I've learned a lot from that. And I think thanks to that, I invest like I would be like 5 years in, even being less than half of that, which is really nice. It is.
Yeah.
By the way, the last thing I want to talk about regarding sets is what do you think about these undervalued or underappreciated Scarlet and Violet sets? Because we had the shift of the era. Everyone was crazy about Crown Zenith. When we moved to Scarlet and Violet, it was, well, I'm gonna be honest. When I saw base, I said, "Oh, this is definitely not what I was expecting. Like, this is not it. Hopefully, they do better than this." But
Yeah.
I think it was bashed until Paradox Rift. I think on the Temporal Forces release, it was like the start of the community started talking well about Scarlet and Violet. I think some of us just talked well about the era overall way before that, because honestly, I've always talked really well about Paradox Rift. I
Same.
really like the set. I bought. Fun fact is, I bought boxes of Paradox Rift for less than 70 euros
Oof.
on the secondary market. I'm not talking this insane distribution deal. No, people like I knew judges like Pokemon TCG judges that were paid with these booster boxes, and they were just looking to sell them just to make money. And they were like, well, I have 10 boxes. If you get all of them, we'll leave it at 70 a box, 65 a box, something like that. Crazy, because they couldn't even sell it. They had it open on the market for $80. They were not selling it. And I would just ask, well, how about if I buy everyone, like the 10 of them? And they would say, okay, sure, $70 for you. Just keep them. And that was insane. That was insane. And I just wanted to run this by you and have your opinion on it.
Oh, that's epic.
Yeah.
Contrary to popular, I don't know if it's a popular belief, but back like however many months ago it was when I was on the OKJ Love like big stream with a bunch of people. I don't know if you know about that one.
Was
Some
it the one
people,
with the CTR?
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. I know.
me, Rob, OKJ Love, Opossum Bud,
Yeah. Yeah.
a few others that were there as well.
Mhm.
Anyways, I must have misspoke because people think that I hated Scarlet and Violet era off the top, which is can't be further from the truth. I liked it quite a bit. I I found Scarlet and Violet base set to be okay. Took me a little bit to get used to the silver borders. By the time Paldea Evolved came out, I was like, yeah, this is a lot of fun. I really, really like this. And that was still when like I still wanted to open Brilliant Stars, Astral Radiance, Lost Origin, Silver Tempest. I still even had some Evolving Skies for cheap and Fusion Strike and Chilling Rain, and Crown Zenith, of course. But so Scarlet and Violet was like, I liked it. I was never a hater of Scarlet and Violet. It took me a while to get used to the silver borders, like I said, but then Obsidian Flames came out, which was whatever. I pulled the Charizard, which was pretty exciting. And then 151 came out, and I was completely hooked. I love 151. Like, the nostalgia for me just gets me. And ever since that, it's like, I know this is a spicy take, but I would way rather open Scarlet and Violet era than Sword and Shield era. Like,
Same.
10 times out of 10, I would rather open Scarlet and Violet era over Sword and Shield era. And I get it. I still like and respect the fact that you want to go pull a Moonbreon or want to pull the Giratina. Like, yeah, so do I. But I love Scarlet and Violet era. So now that everything is on the rise, it's like all these sets are good. But Paradox Rift was such a fun set to open when it first came out. Like, and the fact that we could buy it for $90,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. That's super cool. Of course, it lacks the big chase card. We all know that, but
But it
m-
didn't even like when it first came out. It does now. But Roaring Moon was $100 card for a long time.
not in Europe.
No?
I don't think
Okay.
so. But still, like for me, the value per pack was not bad at all because the amount of illustration rares there is insane. And what happened to me, like my personal experience is I got really bored of opening Sword and Shield. Like I remember opening Lost Origin booster boxes and get nothing, like nothing from a full booster box. And I was like, man, this is more than $100. Like this is not okay. And it has never happened with Scarlet and Violet. You get illustration rares. Maybe they are not super expensive, and some of them are even $2. But you get that experience of, well, you get a I don't know, a Marill illustration rare, but the card is so well drawn, it's so well designed that you actually get excited. Even you didn't get your money back from that pack. You open a $4 booster and you get a $2 illustration rare, you feel like you hit something. And isn't that like everything when you open packs? Like, you open to have fun. You're not making money opening packs. Like, I think by this point, everyone knows you're not making profit opening packs,
No,
period.
of course not.
So you do it for fun. And for me, a lot of Sword and Shield sets were not fun to open. Just like that. You got a trainer gallery, sure, 2 trainer galleries, whatever. But then you open it like a Paradox Rift booster box, and you got like 10 pulls. And it was like, whoa, maybe the box is 90 and your pulls are 30. But you said, well, that was a lot of fun. Maybe I can grade this card because it's super well centered and I don't know, it's going for $70 in a PSA 10, whatever. But so what happened to me on the shift of eras is that I was not really liking the first sets. Then I kind of enjoy Paradox Rift. I'm not a big fan of Temporal, but I understood that overall the sets were more fun to open and that people would open more in respect of Sword and Shield. Because, man, it really scares me to open Sword and Shield. Of course, now the prices are double the prices on release, but even that, it's like the Champion's Path situation we discussed before. Like, you get the hit or you're gone. But you're not gone for 50% of the value. Like, you're gone for 90.
Yeah.
I don't know,
The
man.
funny thing is that when we were opening Sword and Shield before Scarlet and Violet came out, Sword and Shield was pretty fun. Like, I had a lot of fun opening Pokemon cards. But now going back after Scarlet and Violet era, it's like, well, why the heck do I want to open up Lost Origin anymore?
Yeah.
The only reason is because I have never pulled the Giratina, and I would love to do that at one point. But man, it is so like disheartening when you open up 10 or 20 or a whole booster box packs of Lost Origin and you get 8 hits or 10 hits, whereas I go open up a Twilight Masquerade booster box and I'm getting 15 hits plus the chance at a special illustration rare. Plus, it still has the big chase card of a Greninja.
Yep.
That's awesome. And I love the illustration rares, like you said. I mean, most boxes that I open now, you're getting a hit every 3 packs.
Yep. And
Which is amazing.
maybe just me, but I care more about how the card looks too, than how much is it priced on. Because, you know, maybe a V card, a random V card is $1 to $2, and maybe an illustration rare too. But for me, the illustration rare looks like a hit, and honestly, most of the V cards don't. They look like bulk, like they haven't been drawn. There's no artist behind. I don't really like that, honestly. I don't.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, like it's kind of funny because what was it? For a long time, the yellow border stuff, just a regular holo was the big hit. And now we have these full arts.
Yeah.
And like, if you compare just like the regular double rare EX card in Scarlet and Violet era compared to like a base set holo card, well, the double rare is way cooler, even though it's not actually. Like, don't take my words wrong there. It's way, vintage is way cooler, obviously. But the artwork is way better. Like, it's a full cardboard thing is what I'm trying to say. And then we have illustration rares and special illustration rares and ultra rares on top of that. That's epic. Like, Pokemon cards are so cool now. And yet now it's just, oh, that's another double rare EX card. That's, I don't care. It's barely even a hit, for goodness sakes.
I actually, like, now that you talk about vintage cards, I have a lot of videos and I have a lot of upcoming videos talking about like the history of something, of some kind of card or the best hits of all time, because I really like going back and watching all these, you know, card designs and everything just develop like over time. Because back then, a holo, like you see the original Moonbryon, it's kind of simple. Like the design is kind of simple. The holo pattern, you see it, it's super plain. Like the image is nothing crazy, but you see that, and you see that in person. It's so majestic. It has this history behind. It's just something else, and I just love doing the whole transition. It takes me a lot of work and a lot of time, I have to say, but I love entering like this pick a with website that has all the sets with all the cards inside, and I say, okay, let's look at the best card of every single year, every single set, because I just love doing that. And you see all the transition. There were parts that I really not enjoyed, like X and Y. I really dislike X and Y. I was not on the hobby during
Yeah.
X and Y, but I also like it because um, uh, since I went back and forth into the hobby, I see cards that I actually collected as a kid, and then I see cards that I was not there, and then cards that I came back and I actually. So it's really refreshing for me to do that. I also have to say that I'm from 1999, so um, I lost like I couldn't enjoy the first sets. I see a lot of people have this great joy for vase set and stuff. Um, I started collecting when Diamond and Pearl was already out. So
Okay.
I kind of skipped that. And it's not a regret, but something I really uh, get nostalgic about is that my favorite gen by far is Gen 3. And when I grew older and I saw the Gold Star cards and stuff, I said, "Wow." And I couldn't open any of that. And now it's super expensive. So I would probably never open any of that. So that just got into me because I also is my favorite era. Even I was not there, like the card designs, the Gold Stars. I mean, you can just see my profile picture. Like I really love the Gold Star designs and the cards back then. And Diamond and Pearl for me was kind of a like I didn't really like it, honestly. Like now that I see, I had fun collecting because I was 7, but now that I look at the chase cards and stuff, I don't really like the design. Um, so
Here's a spicy question for you though.
all right,
If they made
shoot
a
me.
new gold star for Prismatic Evolution, but it was only just like
Oh,
an old school card with the little picture and then everything else was just like a standard border. Is that a cool card these days? Or is it just cool because it's old?
so do you mean if they make like a revamp, like the 25th anniversary with a stamp, something like
Yeah,
that?
like if they made a card like that,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a gold star
Oh,
today. I mean, obviously it's different because it'll have a silver border and all that stuff. But if they just made like a regular small picture and then the rest of the card is just a black or not a black, a blank background with text on it, is that still a cool card, or is it because the gold stars are nostalgic and old and rare?
it's definitely because they are nostalgic, for sure. There's this thing that I find really attractive that Pokemon decided at that point that they would introduce shiny Pokemon on the TCG. Because shiny Pokemon back then were kind of super niche. Like now we have all these shiny hunters and stuff, but at that moment was like, of course I was a kid, but there was not even like 1% of the information we've got now about shiny Pokemons. And the fact that they just said, okay, we're going to add these cool cards that are going to be gold stars, a brand new design. They're going to be shiny cards, and you get like one every 3 booster boxes, which are at the time, it was insane. Like the, the pull rates were so low that I don't know, it was so new at the time. But I completely understand and get your point. And I have to be completely honest, I just prefer the new designs, of course. Like I don't. I think you can still do cool cards with the just the small like um, image and the borders and stuff. But
Yeah.
of course, I wouldn't prefer that. I see the new Mombreon. For me, it's so gorgeous, man. I don't know how to explain. It's so gorgeous. I'm just in love with that card. I think the designs right now are just they're like well, they are pieces of art. Actually, they are pieces of art.
They are. It's amazing. And think
Yeah.
about like I want if anyone's still watching my nonsense at this point, like I want to be clear. I think vintage cards and gold stars are literally the coolest thing. So if I said something that was stupid, that's not what I meant at all. I love gold star cards. I love vintage cards. Like I actually just bought a complete base set.
Oh,
And
really?
they're probably they would grade as like a 5 probably most of the cards.
Okay.
But like
So the master
being able
set?
to hold a yeah, being able to hold a base set Charizard in my hand is like,
Yeah,
like, it's amazing.
that got
Um,
exciting.
but the actual artwork, like, come on, Scarlet and Violet is knocking it out of the park.
Yeah.
It is so good. Everything about it is so good.
Because also like alt arts were super like they were like super also out of the park. Like
Oh yeah.
alternative arts on Sword and Shield were like wow, like you can get all these things in a card. I remember when the Giratina came out, I was like, "What is this, man?" I was super impressed. I was like, "What is this? Like, this is actually like a piece of art that could be in a museum. Like, you take Giratina off, you put something else, or you just let the background. That's a piece of art. That's crazy."
Yeah,
And
blow that up into like a big 3 foot wide
yeah,
painting
literally,
and
like
it's
you could, I
beautiful.
could probably have this big painting. Like, it could be the background of Giratina. It would
Yeah.
look good for
Yeah,
sure.
and it would be a masterpiece.
Yeah. So that's my point, and I really like modern cards,
So
and
do I.
I think that illustration rares really make that great because it's like okay, it's a cheap card. You will pull a lot of these, whatever, but the card like it has an illustrator like behind. It has a lot of work. Like someone actually put the hours here, and it looks amazing. Even if it's that cheap, it looks amazing.
Yeah, 100% agree.
So,
Yeah.
just before ending the video, I won't take any more of your time, and we've been rambling for a lot. I see almost one and a
Good,
half
it's
hour
good.
now, but
You know what? This is what shows like me and you just talked for an hour and a half basically, and I could keep talking for another hour and a half because I love the Pokemon space, and you do too. It's
same.
obvious,
Yeah,
very apparent. So it's fun to talk about. Hopefully,
yeah, I love
people
it.
watching took something away and
Of course,
and
I hope so, I hope so. And the last thing I want to run by you is, um, I have this clear dream inside the Pokemon space that I will say after I ask you for yours. But what is this crazy thing you would do? Like if you uh, would not think about the money at all. Like if they give you the opportunity, what would you do? Like for example, like opening a vase set, first edition booster box, and making like, I don't know, a break life or whatever. Like get as crazy as you would like, but what is that? Because we've discussed before this part of um, the hustle and the grind and all these things we do. But if you just think about joy, what is the thing that would give you, the most amount of joy possible inside the Pokemon TCG space?
it's a good question. Um, hmm. I mean, the easy answer is to open a base set box and actually pull a Charizard because I never did that as a kid either. Uh, I pulled quite a few of them, but not the Charizard. I remember pulling like the Nidoking, and I remember pulling the Venusaur. I had the Zapdos for sure, but never the Charizard. So that's obviously like high up on the list.
Okay.
But I've actually thought a lot about this question, to be honest with you. I have been trying to figure out a way, like if I had unlimited funds, I would love to still be in the Pokemon hobby. I probably wouldn't be grinding nearly as much as I do now, but how could I do it so like to be super generous, like kind of deep pocket monster type of generous without getting taken advantage of? Because I don't particularly love when people just want freebies just because.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to support people who support me. Like I want it to be like a mutually beneficial thing, which is what I try and do on my channel as well. So, how do you be extremely generous and give stuff away without just people wanting your free stuff? And I don't really know the answer to that, but in the roundabout way, I would love to be able to just rip open packs and make someone's day a little bit brighter by doing that and giving some away and having fun. Because the live streams where I do rip packs for people, that's some of the most fun I have in the Pokemon space because we're just hanging out. I get to do something that I absolutely love to do. I never get tired of opening Pokemon cards. And so to be able to do that and make someone's day a little brighter too, that seems amazing to me. So something to do with giveaways and generosity and maybe a base set Zard in there somewhere.
That's really nice. That's kind of what Cool Trainer Ryan does, right? He just opens packs and, well,
Yeah.
someone will get the cards. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's a really cool idea. I really like it. I really enjoy his content too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
What
that's
about
nice.
you? You got to answer it too.
I get a clear, like, I don't know if I would say objective, because I wouldn't like get angry if I could not do that. But there are two things. Because, I'm really obsessed with Gold Star Rayquaza. I really am. Like, that's the
Nice.
card. I love the
Yeah.
Pokemon. I was absolutely obsessed with Rayquaza and Blaziken. They were just my boys. I was like 5 playing Emerald. I was just, that's just what got me into the Pokemon in general. Not even the TCG, like Pokemon in general. And you see, if I don't think about the money, I would prefer to open a Deoxys booster box than a base set first edition. Just like
Okay.
that. Just for the
Very nice.
experience, like I would get far more hyped if I pulled a Gold Star Rayquaza than if I pulled a first edition base set Charizard. It's kind of crazy to say because you could sell one and buy 3 of the other, but the experience just would make it worth it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally understandable.
And the other thing I would like to do, which will be really hard, is someday to have a PSA 10 Gold Star Rayquaza.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's a long-term goal though.
Hey,
But
you got to
I
have the outrageous goals and you'll get there.
I think
That's a
there's like
beauty.
2 in Europe. Like that's in 2 in Europe. But I'll probably track some guy one day if everything goes well, and probably just have it and just display it here or whatever. Just in
Yeah.
my face. Whatever. I'll find it someplace. But that would
Yeah.
be it.
That's a
sure.
beauty. That's
Yep.
a beauty. Nice.
Yes. So, well, man, Colin, it was such a pleasure talking with you. It's 2:30 a.m. in the morning. I would probably talk with you until like 8 a.m. next day and start working. But,
Oh,
I
nice.
got to cut this at some point.
Yeah.
Hopefully, there are some people that enjoy the hobby as much as we do and stick to the whole this conversation. It was such a pleasure to have you on the channel. I really enjoyed talking with you, man.
Yeah. Same. Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate y'all watching as well.
Yeah, it would be great if someday we can share a stream, maybe another video, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I would really
Sure.
enjoy that. And yeah, thank you again and see you all, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.